My sister tried to erase me from my own wedding, so I exposed her lies. At Thanksgiving dinner, my sister raised her glass and said, "Still single, Claire?" Everyone laughed, but I didn't. I looked her right in the eye and said, "Actually, I'm married." The room froze, because the truth was, they never got my wedding invitations. My sister made sure of that. If you've ever been underestimated, ignored, or treated like you don't matter, this story is for you. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready to hear how I finally stood up for myself and made my whole family see the truth. From the outside, my family looked normal, warm, close, functional. But from where I sat, it was all imbalance and quiet favoritism. Growing up, I was the understanding daughter, the one told to keep the peace, to be patient, to not cause drama. My sister Melissa, she was the golden one, the star. Every family dinner, every holiday was just another stage for her to shine. New promotion, she got a toast, a new dress, everyone noticed. Meanwhile, I could have climbed Mount Everest, and my mom would just say, "That's nice, dear," before asking Melissa about her new nail color. And for a long time, I accepted it. I thought maybe that was just how families worked. Someone always gets the spotlight. Someone else gets the shadows. That someone was me. Thanksgiving that year was no different. The table was overflowing with food, and so was Melissa's ego. She was waving her diamond ring around, telling some story about her husband's big client deal, while Mom kept refilling her glass like she was royalty. Then Melissa looked at me smirking. "So Claire," she said, "still single? Or did you finally find someone who can tolerate all that independence?" Everyone chuckled, even my dad, though it sounded uneasy. My chest burned. I felt every eye on me, waiting for me to laugh it off like I always did. But not this time. I put down my fork, looked her straight in the eye, and said calmly, "Actually, Melissa, I'm married." You could have heard a pin drop. Mom froze mid-sip. Dad blinked. Melissa's smirk twitched, like she wasn't sure if she heard me right. "You're what?" she asked. "Married," I said again. 8 months ago." They all started talking at once. Confusion, disbelief, accusations. "Why didn't you tell us?" Mom gasped. "We never got an invitation." I nodded slowly. "I know. You didn't get them?" "Because Melissa made sure of it." Melissa's face drained of color. "Excuse me?" I pulled out my phone and opened a folder I'd been holding on to for months, just in case. Postal records, delivery confirmations, signed receipts. Each one addressed to my family, signed for by Melissa Franklin. Dad leaned forward. "Melissa, please tell me this isn't true." She stammered, I was just trying to protect her." She barely knew the guy. I didn't want her to rush into something stupid. I cut her off. "You mean you didn't want me to have something that wasn't about you?" My voice was shaking, but it wasn't weak. It was steady. Decades of being overlooked had trained me well. Do you have any idea what that did to me? Standing there, thinking my own parents didn't care enough to show up to my wedding? Do you know how small that made me feel? Melissa looked like she might cry, but I didn't care. For once, her tears didn't matter more than my truth. I could see my parents struggling to process it. Confusion, guilt, shock. But part of me didn't care, because I had begged them for years to see what she was like, and they never did. I stood up from the table. "You know what? I'm done being the good daughter, the forgiving one, the one who always lets things slide so this family can pretend to be happy. Mom reached out. Claire, wait. No, I said. You missed my wedding because of her. I won't let you miss the rest of my life, too. And I left. I walked out of that house with my head high and my heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my teeth. I barely made it to my car before I started shaking. My hands were trembling so badly that I dropped my keys twice. Then I heard her voice, Melissa's, behind me. Claire, wait. When I turned, she was crying. I'm sorry, she said between sobs. I was jealous, okay? You were finally happy, and I couldn't stand it. I just wanted to still be the one they were proud of. I just stared at her. For a second, I almost pitied her. But then I remembered standing in my wedding dress, waiting for people who never came. You didn't just ruin my day, I said quietly. You made me believe no one cared about me. You let me stand there alone. That's not jealousy, Melissa. That's cruelty. She sobbed harder. Can I meet him? Daniel. I shook my head. Not tonight. Then I got in my car and drove away. Daniel was waiting when I got home. He didn't ask questions. He just opened his arms, and I cried. Not because I was sad, but because for once, I was finally safe. The months that followed were quiet, healing, but not easy. My parents tried to reach out, but I kept my distance. I stopped chasing their approval, stopped bending myself into the shape they preferred. I built something better, a life that wasn't defined by who showed up, but by who wanted to. My husband, my friends, his family, who treated me like I actually mattered. About a year later, Mom had a car accident. She called me from the hospital, voice trembling. Please come. I went, not out of obligation, out of choice. The house looked smaller when I walked back in. Melissa was there, quieter this time. She couldn't even look at me. Mom started crying the second she saw me. I'm so sorry, Claire, for everything we didn't see, for believing the best in her when it cost us you. Her words hurt and healed at the same time. Dad squeezed my hand. We'll spend the rest of our lives earning back your trust. I didn't say it's okay, because it wasn't. But I said, I appreciate you saying that. And somehow, that was enough for the moment. Driving home that night, headlights painting the empty road, I realized something. My revenge wasn't humiliating Melissa. It wasn't proving her wrong. It was walking away. It was finally being heard. She had built her identity on being the golden child, but when the truth came out, she lost the only thing that made her special: control. And me, I finally found peace. I didn't need validation. I didn't need applause. I just needed to be seen by the people who actually cared. Sometimes revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting free. And when you stop chasing the people who refuse to see your worth, you start finding the ones who always did. If this story hit you right in the heart, give it a thumbs up and tell me in the comments. Have you ever been the invisible one in your family? And if you love seeing quiet people finally stand up and win, subscribe for more stories like this. Because sometimes the softest voices tell the loudest truths.